Lexington High School is making sure they're weather prepared.
That's right. Speaking of, right, and WKYT First Alert meteorologist Alexa Minton takes us to Tates Creek High School to see inside that school's new storm safety shelter.
The new Tates Creek High School has plenty of exciting new things to focus on. However, faculty are extremely excited about one feature in particular, their storm shelter in the basement.
We always look at student safety, and with having this large of a student population, we need to have a place where they can go during severe weather.
Tates Creek opened its doors to its new high school a little over a year ago, with the new building focused on bettering the student experience. One primary focus in the remodeling was the adding of extra windows for light, but in order for the building to remain up to code, a storm shelter was needed as well.
So the students are protected from inside the building from things that could be happening and falling, as well as outside.
The storm shelter is located in the basement of the building and takes up over 11,000 square feet. It can protect the entire population of the school, students and faculty alike. And additionally, the storm shelter has restrooms and even its own individual air supply that can allow for air circulation in the event of a power failure.
We have it arranged by classes so they can find each other and find their teacher, and so it's very organized, and that way they feel very secure in that.
Fayette County has only had 15 tornadoes since the 1880s, with the last happening in May of 2004. So Central Kentucky is a little overdue. But the addition of this shelter in the new facility can grant parents some peace of mind about their students' safety.
Everyone takes care of your class, and you look for the other students so that there's no stragglers left behind, so that every student is accounted for, so every parent can relax and say, they've got my kid.
With the main focus being safety for the students and faculty, this new storm shelter proves to be vital for the new Tates Creek High School. For WKYT, I'm meteorologist Alexa Minton.